I would like to kind of share with everyone that when I started Blues Fest in 2001, I was 46 years old. And it's been 25 years. So you do the math. So in the last couple of years, I've been going around in my mind and trying to figure out, I might not be around forever, but I want Blues Fest to be around forever. And started to work with Dan when he was putting together Waterfront Hall, and realized that the youthful energy that I had when I started was with him now. And if I wanted to try to guarantee the future of Blues Fest, it would be affiliating with a person like Dan. Throughout the 25 years, there's way too many things that I can talk about, but there are instances that I think now that I won't be year-round running Blues Fest, I'll probably call on my wife, who's a great writer, to help me write a book about the 25 years of Blues Fest and some of the things that happened through there. For example, the first year we had Levon Helm from the band being a drummer on Bob Margolin's show. And my son was 12 years old, and he was a drum tech. And he was so excited that Levon Helm might play his drums. And he went up, and Levon had been going through throat cancer, and so that's why he was just playing drums. He wasn't singing. And he basically told Leland that he would rather play his own drums. Leland was crushed. But then Levon Helm, being a beautiful man, said, but I tell you what, I might drop sticks. And so would you stand beside me during my set in case I drop my sticks? All of a sudden, Leland was on cloud nine, knowing that he would be close to Levon Helm the whole time. There'll be more to that story in the book, but that's probably suffice to say. I think it was that same year, in year one, we had Anson Thunderbird and the Rockets with Sam Myers. Sam, if people didn't know Sam was a wonderful harmonica player and singer, and he was blind. He's backstage in an all-white suit, ready to go on stage, and he said, I'm hungry. Is there anything to eat around here? And so I told him some of the things that the vendors had, etc. He said, oh, meatball sandwich sounds good. So I bring him back this saucy meatball sandwich. And I'm going, he's going to be a mess. He's going to be a total mess. But he didn't get a drop on him, put on a fabulous show. And that started, I think, the history of Blues Fest for 25 years. I don't know that we have ever had a bad performance. About year 3, I was ready to really give it up. I had remortgaged my house. I had done a lot of things to keep things happening. And year 3 was the year of the blues. And the 100-year anniversary of W.C. Handy writing, I believe, the St. Louis Blues. Don't quote me on that. It might be a little different. But we had on that year this little known blues artist today, Joe Bonamassa. He was just getting started in the blues world, and following up by James Cotton. Before them was an act called Otis Taylor. And Otis, I'm sure a lot of the people that have attended Blues Fest know the music of Otis Taylor. Otis was this he does what he calls trance blues. And I blamed him for bringing in this storm, because it was a gorgeous day before that. And one of the things that you always have a problem with doing an outdoor festival is weather. But you can't control that. So the storm blew through. We ended up with the curfew of the Heritage Port being midnight. We had to shorten both Joe Bonamassa and James Cotton, their last two performances, but we got them in anyway. And that started what I normally tell people in the 25 years, except for the year for COVID. We've never lost an act on Blues Fest. We've misplaced a few, but we've never lost one. And there was a year when we had to move over to River City before Waterfront Hall was here, and finish the show over there. I think it was 3 years ago, we ended up moving over here to Waterfront Hall and finishing the festival. And it was then, I think, that we started our relationship, and it convinced me that Waterfront Hall and Dan were the people that I can entrust to give it another 25 plus years at the Heritage Port.
My recollection of the second weekend in August in 2023 was that we had just opened Waterfront Hall the week before. We'd had a band on opening weekend do 2 nights, but my baptism into the music business was with Bruce and with the thunderstorm that came on Saturday night. I remember Ian, our general manager, and I, when the storm came, we both held the front doors wide open, and 300 people came running into Waterfront Hall, and I couldn't get the smile off my face. There was some worry about the capacity of the first floor, but they were safer inside than they were in the storm, and that's what I was prepared to tell the fire department. So,
exactly.
So we had essentially the headliners from Blues Fest that night in August in 2023 on our little stage with the room completely packed in the best atmosphere since, And for me, the little moment that Bruce and I had, and Phyllis was right there too, I poured him a glass of Basil Hayden's. And we kind of just smiled and enjoyed the fact that he had somewhere to go when the storm came, and that I may have stumbled into something that possibly could work. And it still gives me chills to think about it.
Yeah, we brought over John Namath and the Blue Dreamers, and who was the headliner?
I can't remember.
I don't either. The years after 25, I almost have to have a little cheat sheet to go back. Joe Louis Walker.
Okay.
It was Joe Louis Walker. And, what a great gentleman. I remember he was sitting in the back hall waiting to come up, and I said, "Do you need anything?" He said, "No, I'll do whatever you want, boss." And I said, "Well, I'd like you to finish your set over here." And he said, "That'll be fine." And, a lot different than the main stage at Blues Fest. When we talked about doing this, one of the things that I liked hearing from Dan was that he didn't just want me to walk away. He just didn't want to take it over and get the hell out, Bruce. So I will be available for whatever the people at Waterfront Hall needs from me, as long as I can do it. Now, I'm kind of glad that maybe I won't have to be involved with the setup and everything else. Again, doing the math, 46 plus 25, I get a little tired. And so I think the youthful energy is what I'm looking forward to.
The benefit of having Bruce around is pretty obvious for anybody who's ever attended the Blues Festival. For us, it's 25 years of intellectual property wrapped up in this project, in this effort that he and his family have made, And we want him there to share knowledge and to anticipate the problems that we might not be able to anticipate. And ultimately, we want his, more than anything, I think, his spirit around, because this event is very much a manifestation of what he and his family have put into it. And I think that to walk away from that would be a bad decision, both just as a human and on the business front, for that matter. So we want Bruce Wheeler and family back at Blues Fest 2026, and look at that as a way to collaborate and kind of push things forward together.
And Dan mentioned family. I have to say that those who have attended the festival over the years realize that it has become a family affair and almost like a family reunion. And not just my personal family. I could not have done it without the help of my wife Phyllis, my son Leland, and my daughter Amanda over the years. And again, that's something that's tough to transition from, because it was kind of an internal project of our family.
Yeah.
But that's what I like about what I see of the people at Waterfront Hall. Dan runs this place like it's a family. The workers here, you can feel that they like to be together, and so that made me feel good that Waterfront Hall was definitely the place to, transition to Blues Fest to.
Yeah, our staff likes to say we call it a gang. It's not a cult.
That's a good one. I like that.
But ultimately, we have created something special in terms of our staff here, and it'll be our staff that ultimately is behind the mechanics of the festival, and all of those people that we think of as a part of our Waterfront Hall family that work slightly on the outside but engage with us on a regular basis, like the Jan Dykstras of the world and a lot of the production people that we've worked with, my friend Tim. So yeah, we want to integrate this into our existing operational model, and it works really, really well because we get to step 25 feet out of our front door and into the festival and really use this building as a hub. And we still think that there are new ways that we can utilize this building in conjunction with Blues Fest, and look forward to that too. So
one of the things that that we set up in the transition, we kind of talked about this transition starting after last year's Blues Fest. And so at the main gate, working with my wife Phyllis, was Rachel Crumbs. And so she's got a good idea of what's happening there. We had Jan and Tim, the production people here, and a lot of the other staff were doing things throughout the Blues Fest to just get familiar. So that, again, we weren't just saying, okay, it's yours.
Yeah.
But that there would be a smooth transition.
What can you tell us about the lineup for 2026?
Nothing. I'm actually bound by contract. I can't say shit about it. But
wait a minute, I can't. I won't give any names, but I have seen Dan's list and his list of offers, and I'm happy with what they're doing.
That's the recommendation I was looking for. Yeah, it will be a blues festival, and I think what people can expect is that the side stage, the second stage that Bruce and team were able to develop, will be developed even further in the coming year. And my thought is that we might have a little bit of the bending of the genre at the side stage, but ultimately we're trying to create an environment that we're trying to build on the environment that the Blues Fest has had all these years. and maybe approach it from an angle where we get some new blood in there as well. So the main stage, the blues stage, yeah, expect, if Bruce is happy, you'll be happy. But expect it to be very much like all of the blues festivals that you've seen in the past. So our pre-sale tickets are going to be available to all previous buyers of the Blues Fest tickets for whom we have their email addresses. So we will be sending out this video on October 10th, and there will also be a pre-sale code that follows if you're signed up to the newsletter. So it's the Blues Fest newsletter that has always existed, and we'll make sure that you get the code if you're already subscribed. And if you're not, there will be a link where you can subscribe to the newsletter. That code will get you pre-sale access to the VIP packages, and those will be on sale along with canopies on November 12th. But we'll make sure that we attach in the caption all of the dates, so you can expect Blues Fest tickets to go on sale November 12th, and then general on sale November 19th. But you can see our website and the newsletter for all additional details related to that.
And Waterfront Hall will be taking over heritagemusicfest.com.
Yes.
So I would suggest to anybody out there, make sure that you keep visiting that in the next couple months. If you happen to see something that says, we need you to sign up for an email list and give a permission, do that. You know, we just want to make sure that the transition is very smooth and that you don't get left out of any information that you need to have.
So to recap the very important dates, it's November 12th when we will put VIP pre-sale packages on sale, and it's November 12th when we'll make the announcement about the entire lineup for the festival. I can share that we have about 80% of the lineup finished already, and that we hit the ground running on that, and we're very happy with the artists that we were able to get confirmed so far.
I'm going to be there. You should too.
We need your support. In order to make Blues Fest last another 25 years, we need your support. And we'll have tickets on sale, and we'll be working really hard to make sure more and more people know about this amazing festival that's lasted for 25 years now. What did we leave out? Anything else?
An emotional Phyllis.
Good?
I was crying the whole time.